Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead and right here, right now.
Subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, all I can say is CANES Canes. That's what I'm talking about, man. We're in the post-game show of my Miami Hurricanes. That's right. I said my Miami Hurricanes that pulled out a great victory over Louisville going into Papa John's Stadium, putting Hurricane foot and Cardinal behind, if you understand what I'm saying, man. So we're going to jump straight into this thing. We're going to definitely make it happen. All right, we're going to get down into it. We're going to break down. We're talking about our predictions and all this other little good stuff we got going on. And like I say, jump on in the comment section. I'm about to sit up here. We're going to open up the phone lines. Man, don't be shy. Come on, celebrate this thing with your boy. Talk about it. Show your excitement across the internet. I don't know, the airwaves or whatever they are. I need you to celebrate with your boy, man, because we're going to definitely make this thing happen. Yeah, I see y'all popping in there. That's what I'm loving it, man. Loving it in the comment. Let me go ahead and bring this thing in right quick, man. We got the usual suspect right here. We got V12 in the house. What's up, baby? Talk to me.
Hey, listen. Hey, I told you we're bringing out the chain, whether they're coconut chains. Hey, we bringing out the Florida State. Look at that. And hey, did you see Chunk? And did you see the bottom? We from the bottom of the map had the cane. It ain't even, the commentator even know what they say. Oh, state of Florida. But on the bottom, they had the green, what? And orange on the bottom of the map. That means MIA, baby. Hey, a couple things, Coach. We ain't pulled nothing out. We dominated, and it's across these bandwidth. Get it right. Internet bandwidth. I'm with you, Coach. Hey, I'm still hyped. Get at me.
All day. Hey, part two, man, of the usual suspects. He wasn't here on the first half. Had to take care of some things, man, on the family side, man. And we're going to bring him on in right now. Well, maybe we not, because I'm looking at a wall right now. And maybe we are. Oh, I apologize. That wasn't the wall. That was the middle of the U, man. That's my man, Mr. Essex O'Brien, extraordinaire, actor extraordinaire. E, talk to me, man.
Hey, man, we are back. We're back in Canes style football, man. That was a great game, man. I'm with you, B. That's enough to get you hyped. Dropping damn near 50 on them boys. I love it, man. Got the chain out multiple times. That's what we were talking about last week, man. Getting back to Canes football.
Back to basics.
And then last but not least, man, we bringing in Mr. Quarterback Guru Trainer himself, Mr. Balin Trujillo. Balin, talk to me, man.
I'm still looking for all the Florida State fans out there.
Nah.
Because guess what? They're on the clock now. So
tick, tick, tick.
Hey, look, great performance by the Hurricanes, completely dominated. I told you guys checked in before the show or before the game that offense was going to be explosive tonight. I was excited to see it finally go to work. Me and Coach Hayes were going back and forth the entire game. I'm telling you, I was hyped. And let's just talk about the chain. So I can put my chain away because I need to get a new chain with that Florida on it. Yeah, we're talking about the chain. They teased us. They thought they showed us, but no. When that Florida logo came, I said, whoa. First of all, I thought it was a gun because it was backwards. I was like, oh,
I did too.
Don't tell me the same thing. I was like, this is funny. But then when it turned, it was the state of Florida, man. What a great showing tonight. I'm excited to get this talk going. You know I got some stuff to talk about. Let's get it.
Man. Hey, straight up, man. I thought that's the same thing. I thought I saw that boy that had to pull out the fire. I say, shots fired.
About to go down in Miami right now. Hey, I go lie. If it was a gun, like the state of Florida with a gun, I promise you would have 20 recruits right now commit after tonight.
It would have made sense.
But the sad part about it is from the backside, we already know what Florida looked like, right? But because the way the U came around, it looked like the little trigger guard. When you put your finger in there, I'm like, oh, Lord, these boys going all the way in.
I was like, wow, there's some shooters out there, boy.
Hey, man. Bah. Shots fired. So anyway, we're going to jump straight on into this thing. Everybody's here. I'm opening up phone lines as we speak. There it is. The number is 321-328-8235. please, man, call in with your comments. If you fired up like I'm fired up and the rest of these boys fired up, let's make this thing happen, man. I know in the comment section earlier, everybody, we had a couple haters in the house. I'm super excited. I'm going to live this thing. We're going to make it happen. But we had some Florida State people in there talking. We had some Ohio State people in there talking, and we had our homeboy, the original hater, D Tiggs, talking about Louisville gonna win by 10. So when we see him, we got to dunk him in the pool, fellas. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So let's jump straight on to this thing, man. We can already tell everybody here is fired up. I believe.
Coach Hayes.
Yeah.
Can we just get this out the way? Our score predictions. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get you. Listen, you got to listen, you got to ease into that thing, baby. Okay. All right, but we definitely gonna get into the score predictions because we got them coming up for next week too, man. For the Florida State people. But anyway, let's get back into it, man. We got some great comments popping in right now, but we definitely gonna do it, man. Let me see here. Yeah, we got some good ones. I'm gonna pop them in as we talk about it. First of all, let's do this. Balin wants to bring it up. So guess what? We're going to bring it up. The predictions were, I'm going to go through that. V12 had 27-14. Bang! He didn't hit it. The score was 47. 34?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. E, you had 24-21. Bang! You didn't hit it.
Was I wrong?
Listen. And Coach had 28-24. I was close.
You know what, Coach? I don't think anybody was close, but let's see.
Nobody was close.
No, nobody was close. No. But we talking about so far as that, but I'm also kind of go by the spread too. The spread differential. Right? But I have to give it to the closeness of it. Was actually Balin had 31-17.
Yep.
All right. So he had 31-17. And what's that? A point differential of 14 points?
14.
Yeah. 14-point differential. And by one, right? Yeah, 34-30, 40. Yeah, so you hit it, man. A win is a win, dog. Coach is fair when I need to be fair. So we're gonna make that happen, man. So what you won tonight, man, is a $25 gift card to Best Buy, my brother. All right, so I'm hitting you up, man. $25 gift card to Best Buy. That's what I'm doing, man. As a way, man, just as a way to doing something, man, because I know you guys help support this program, and we getting this thing off the road, man. So that's just something Coach Hayes want to do himself. Hopefully one day I get this right and I can pay myself.
Look at him.
But so let's get back into it, man. So Balin won the thing. Get that crap out of here. Get out of here with that crap. All right, here we go. So let's talk about this, man. First of all, we know it met expectations of everybody. As I can tell, I hope I'm not speaking. I know I'm not speaking out of turn.
Yeah, exceeded.
All right. So everybody's expectations were made. Let's just go ahead and talk about this first of all, because everybody's jumping in this thing right here in these comments, man. I love the comments, man, but I got to read, press buttons, click this, do that. Call in, make it easy on Coach Hayes, man. Help me out. I'm a football coach, not an engineer. All right, so here we go. I just play one on TV. So now, with all that being said, let's just talk about overall performance. What do you guys think? I'm gonna start with you, V12, since you're at the top right of me. What do you think right now? The performance overall. V12, you ain't stuck, are you?
I'm here. I didn't hear what you said. Say it again, Coach.
Oh, I was saying, what is your overall experience? I mean, your overall take on the game tonight. What do you think overall? Just a synopsis of what you saw. I
was very impressed. I thought that we cleaned up on a lot of the things that we had concerns about last week, and also things that we spoke about in the pregame show. A lot of those came to fruition today or tonight when they played the game. You want me to give you an overall grade, or you want to say that for later?
No, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna break them down and we'll do overall, but just your overall impression.
Yes, I thought it was a very well played game. I'm not sure the last time we scored 47 points. Maybe it was 2 years ago against Notre Dame. I'm not sure. But to score over 45 points, I think that's very impressive. So we scored over 70 points in 2 weeks. And last week we spoke about, we played a UAB team who wasn't as talented. We played a Louisville team who was filled with talent. You saw Tutu Atwell from the crib, kind of gave us some fits. And I mean, they're loaded. Even the running backs from the crib from Miami. I mean, he's a bona fide stud as well. And the quarterback. So I mean, so they have some players on that team that were coached. We were just a better team tonight, and I think we will be the better team moving forward through the ACC when we play a lot of different teams.
All day. E, talk to me.
Man, I loved it, man. What a difference 10 days makes, right? Some of the things that we were looking for that was missing last week were absolutely there this week. Explosive on offense, energetic and violent on defense. You know, I know you guys saw that last hit by number 5 when they had to review it. Almost knocked that dude's block off. Like, that's the type of energy that we be looking for. The turnover chain was broken out 4 times. Them boys was hyped. They was flying around the field. Everything that we was looking for from a week ago from the start was there tonight. Exceeded my expectations, obviously. I didn't expect us to put up almost 50 points. So the whole game was exciting. It looked like old school Hurricanes football.
All day. And let's go, Balin Trujillo. I know you ready, baby. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna break this thing down for real. So,
Lord.
so look, first of all, can we actually? We made a 57-yard field goal today. Does anybody remember that? Because I remembered it, and I'm thinking,
what's his name? Borilegos? How you say his name?
Last time you've seen us literally line up for a 50-something yard field goal. It's been a while. Like, let's be honest, and he made it clear as day. So that was going to be in the league next year. That's number one. Number two. We kicked about 5 or 6 field goals. So just imagine if we would have scored on those possessions that we kicked field goals. Now we're looking at 65, 70 points. It would have been ugly, right? For some reason, I don't know what it is, because before the season started, they had predicted Louisville to finish 3rd in the ACC behind North Carolina and obviously Clemson, right? So we dominated. I don't know what it is about Miami and Louisville, but for some reason, that team, we own that team. Let's be honest. I mean, even last year, how trash we were, we blew them out. So for some reason, we have a hype thing with Louisville, and they got like almost 3 fights. Crazy. The one thing that stuck out to me, though, is when Kirk Herbstreit was talking, and he said exactly what we were talking about before the game. What did he say? He said, man, the one thing this Miami team has missed in the past couple of years, and he even broke them down. He was like, they had Ja'Cory Harris, Brad Kaya, but he's like, these guys weren't elite. These guys were good quarterbacks, but they weren't elite. Well, now you have an elite quarterback. Now look at what's happening. He's like, it's excitement for Miami. Now we're scoring points. It's just amazing to see what's happening down in South Beach. It meted all expectations. The quarterback play was great. I told you guys are opening up the offense today. We saw that. Now Florida State's on the clock, and I'm excited for next weekend.
All day, man. Tick, tick, tick. Right? Tick tock. The clock don't stop, man. Florida State, COVID-19 and all. We got to meet you, baby. We got to see you. You understand what I'm saying? And it is what it is. All right. So here's my deal, man. Like you guys, because I always try to go last in these things, and I'm going to echo every one of your points. Everything. I saw a lot of good things. I saw a lot of great things, but this show wouldn't be the show if we didn't break down some of the other things as well, right? And the comment section is jumping right now. Trust me, guys. So, hey, if you're listening, do me a favor. Share this thing out to everybody that you know. I don't care that it's 15 minutes to 12. We 15 minutes away from a new day, but we got 15 minutes to celebrate today. You understand? So let's go ahead and get on the thing. Call me. Let's talk about it. Express your opinion. Show me your excitement and your joy, and let's get on to this thing. So same thing, like I'm saying, I'm excited. I saw a lot of different things. I saw again, I said this about De'Aaron King earlier. I wanted to see quicker throws, and I did see quicker throws today. He got the ball out of his hand. The running game did get established through Cam. He did a great job with the running game. Defensively, there were some blitzes in there. Maybe not the kind of blitzes in which I'm looking for right off the cuff. They did a lot of delay and key blitzing, and that's a little different. We'll talk about that technicality here in a second. All right, and then DBs, yeah, all right. You understand what I'm saying? They went, yeah. All right, so I ain't gonna kill the joy right now. I'm not gonna be that dude, but
be that dude, coach.
I will. It's coming in due time. All right, but right now we're gonna let our joy rain down for a few more moments. All right, let's jump right into this thing. We're gonna start on the offensive side of the ball from De'Aaron King. What did you guys see that was something? I'm gonna start it off. I usually ask you guys. I'm gonna start off and I'm gonna shut up. For De'Aaron King, what I like that I saw today was he wasn't the whole offense. And I thought that was huge because I was so scared from what I saw previous week that it was him and everything after him came second, if that makes sense. I saw the fact that he spread the ball around maybe I think it was 7 different receivers. He got the ball around to 7 different receivers. He did do some runs in there. I want to say maybe 8 or 9 runs that he had. All right. So that's a lot of different things we had going on with that. So Balin, what do you think about the quarterback?
All right, so let's get some stats in here. 18 for 30, 325 yards, 3 touchdowns. And again, the one thing that sticks out to me is no turnovers, no picks, no fumbles. I mean, that is, again, something that we have lacked at the quarterback position over the years. Even Brad Kai, who in my opinion was a great quarterback, if he really took it serious and not try to get into the acting world, I think he could have still been in the NFL as a solid backup. The guy had talent, but he still turned the ball over way too much. D'Eriq King is known for not turning the ball over. Again, coming to Miami with 50 touchdowns, only 10 picks in 3 years. That's pretty special. He has no picks for the Hurricanes. He's already thrown, almost 5 touchdowns or something like that, 6, 5, whatever. He's no turnovers, and that's something that sticks out to me. I was very excited to see the receivers. They played pretty well. The one thing that I didn't like, and that's what I talked about pregame, is Mike Harley. He dropped a wide open touchdown. I just feel like there's something missing with him. I don't know what it is exactly, but I don't know if it's it. I just don't know. I think he's in his head too much. But he missed, like literally a wide open touchdown. He could have literally walked in the end zone, dropped it. Mark Pope had a phenomenal game. He dropped the one big pass that could have been a big play for us. But other than that, he played pretty solid. But D'Eriq King, what more can we say? And again, the question lies, I even think, the way we played offensively in the tempo, we didn't have to rely on D'Eriq King's running ability. Today was all about his passing game, and he threw, 30 passes, which is almost triple what he threw last week against UAB. Right. So that was pretty impressive. That means we could have either won with a Jaron Williams or a Ngozi Berry this week against a Louisville team, which is a lot more loaded than UAB. So, again, we already established that they hit a lot offensively. So that's what I was really excited to see, is the offensive explosion and opening up the playbook a little bit. And I feel like there's a lot more to be to witness in this spread offense. But, man, the tempo was great. I didn't like the penalties. I'll tell you that. I was pretty the first.
We're gonna get into that part. We're gonna get into. We gotta listen. All right. We don't have to spill the whole, baby. We don't get into it. I know you're ready to go. Get your sip of water. Yeah. We got a caller in right now. Caller, talk to us. Give us your name, where you're from, what's your question, comment.
What's up, man? My name QB. From Miami, the crib.
The crib.
But I was very, very impressed by King, man. King. I know we just said that some of the receivers, look disappointed as far as catching the ball, but I think King, man, he putting some fire on that ball, man. So them guys gonna have to get in front of the machine a little bit.
Okay.
But overall, the tight ends look good, the running backs look good. I'm a little disappointed with the offensive line. I'm just thinking that I thought, I know those guys probably know the scheme a lot better, knowing who to block and stuff like that, but it just seems like they just getting in the way. I don't see them pushing people off the point, man. And another thing I don't see with their offensive line blocking, I just don't see them like walling guys off to open up lanes. It's just like, those are the things that I'm disappointed about with the offensive line. I mean, we still got some time to clean some things up. I don't want to shift focus and go to the defense, but overall, those are the things that I saw with the offense.
Man, well, I really appreciate you calling in. Hey, and like I said, you can always call back in. We're going to get to that defensive side here in a second, so you're more than welcome, QB, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much for supporting us, man. I got one question before you go.
Yes, sir.
What's the #1 YouTube channel out there, man?
It's all you, man. It's all you, Coach Hayes, man.
That's what I'm talking about, QB. Hey, man, I appreciate you, though. I love you, man. Thanks, man.
For sure.
All right, so he brought up a valid point, guys, right? So, and I didn't want to say, we can get to it now. I'm going to get back to you guys because I want you to tell your point about offensively, but I'm going to just bring this in since he did bring it up about offensive line, right? Even when Cam broke that touchdown, right, that long run, and, the commentators, sometimes they speak just a hair too soon, but that's part of it because it's live action. That block was, they were like, oh, that was an amazing block. He almost didn't make it. Cam hit that gas when he hit that hole. You understand what I'm saying? And so what he's saying is they're not getting a lot of push. And I brought that up last week as a concern of mine. Offensively, we're more position blocking than we're dominating blocking. We're not driving guys off the ball. We're not doing that. And I have to say this, in contrast, Louisville did that. Louisville was double teaming. I seen guys in white jerseys flying backwards. They were getting linebackers were getting caught up in the wash where they double team guys, pushed them into the linebackers. So QB brings up a valid point about the offensive line where I think we definitely got to work on our aggressiveness, if you understand what I'm saying. All right. So V12, man, I'm sorry, E, tell us about I was talking about Derek King offensively. So you think about offensively right now, how does it stand out? What do you think were the high points, maybe even some of the low points?
Well, yeah, just to piggyback off what Balin was saying, the efficiency, the poise, the confidence that he played with today was very special. It gives me a lot of hope for those times when we might be down, let's say 2 or 3 scores. He's the type of quarterback that gives me faith that he can engineer a comeback by because he has all those attributes. You know, you heard the commentators fawning over it as well, that he has that intangible that can separate him from some of the QBs that we've had in the past, as well as the athletic ability. So I loved it, man. Had a command of the game that we saw throughout the game and just never looked pressed, never looked, scattered by anything. So I was very, very impressed. Total, and you can see where he had made the adjustments and things from last week to what he did today. So loved it.
Real quick, V12, I'm going to get to you. I just want to read this off. At Coach Hayes Football, Toronto's in the building. Coach Hayes has made it across the border to Canada.
The six.
Hey, check me out, man. Hey, me and Drake
in the building.
Me and Drake finna go pop some champagne when it's over. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm just talking trash, man. So V12, let me ask you a question because, receiver your deal. How did you look at the receivers tonight?
Only, I would say, 2 receivers impressed me tonight. And that, of course, is Brevin Jordan. We spoke about him in the pregame. He showed up big time. And also the other, and then they're both tight end, Mallory. Mallory showed up big time, even though they called the touchdown back on, I thought it was a bogus call. He showed up big. Those 2 are going to really be big for us. With the other receivers, I have a huge criticism. They're fast, but we had too many drops. And what I'm noticing from the receivers is that, and you notice as a coach, they're not extending their hands and catching the ball with their hands. The Pope dropped one, hit him right here. Right, a big play, and so did Hartley on when the Balin mentioned on the goal line. It's getting to their chest, and like the brother said, QB said, they need to get back to the machine and catch the ball with their hands. We need to catch the ball with our hands. Outside of that, there's pieces. Someone made a comment about us getting off the line or getting open. We were creating separation, and so they look good from a route running perspective. My concern about them is them not catching the ball with all hands. To the flip side, Tutu Atwell, both his catches were with his hands. So there's a difference. When you catch the ball with your hands, you can get the ball, you can secure it, and then run. So the receiving core, they're going to be all right. I agree with Bailey. I'm not sure what it is about Mike Hartley. He can get there. He'll make a catch or 2, and then he'll drop one. So I don't know if it's a confidence issue. We got to get these guys back, catching the ball with their hands, and get them down the field. Derek King, he's very, very efficient. He's putting the ball on the money, and you got to get your hands up ready to catch the ball.
I agree. And you guys brought up a very valid point, V12, about the receivers. The only guy that really stood out to me that I thought was a threat, and I believe one of our viewers, J Dub, wrote in earlier in the pregame show was, what happens if they take that away? You know what I mean? Can Pope and Hartley step up? In my opinion, I don't think they did step up because when they had opportunities to catch day one footballs, and when I say day one football, that's when you just learn how to catch. You wide open. Ain't nobody covering you. You know what I mean? And they dropped. And drops happen, don't get me wrong, but they were a little too frequent. You understand what I mean? At this level of football, you got to catch those balls because that's the difference between winning and losing big-time games with equal talent.
Well, Coach, a lot of we know that a lot of Miami receivers, they're talented, and we go for a lot of speed as well. But if you I want you to, when you get a chance to replay some of this, the catches that Pope and Pope made and Hartley made, a lot of those catches were in the breadbasket. They're not using their hands, and that's a concern for me.
Correct.
You have to be able to extend your hands, strong hands. I'm not saying they're not going to be times where you have to go down and cradle the ball. But if you look at Tutu Atwell and the other receiver from Louisville, they're catching balls with their hands and they're able to maneuver and keep it moving. So they have to work on catching the ball and eliminate the drops, and we'll be okay. But to me, they didn't step up tonight. But again, we had Brevin who did well, and even the running back who scored a touchdown caught it and with his hands pretty much and went for a touchdown.
Sure. I believe his name is Knighton, number 4.
Knighton, number 4, yes.
He is my
definitely
favorite player right now, besides King.
Say it again.
He is my favorite player besides King.
Right. And here's the deal. So I'm gonna flip that into there. So now let's talk about that, right? So Knighton plays running back. I look at Cam tonight. He had really maybe 90% of the runs tonight, right? With what he finished out with, like 140 something yards.
Cam had 9 carries, 134, 1 touchdown.
Hey, research team, all y'all 5, y'all supposed to be on this, man. I got we got to have my guests doing this. Come on, y'all. All right, I'm just teasing, man. Hey, it's one man show. So with all that being said, man, yeah. So yeah, how many Baylor?
He had 9 carries, 134, which is an average of 15 yards a carry and 1 touchdown.
Right. So you figure 9 carries, and then the next guys, I think they were down to 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere in that. It was very low.
Yeah.
So we got to find a thunder and lightning combination in the backfield. Cam can't do it all in the sense of, when I say that, meaning I don't have a problem with him carrying the majority of the loads, but you got to be able to stretch that horse out. Like I say, you play these seasons, man. It's a long season, and at that running back position, guess what, man? It's bang, bang, bang. And once you get banged up, you got to be able to find somebody that you can trust back there as well, equally. All right. So that's from the backfield. We talked about receiver, we talked about quarterback, and then we talked about offensive line. From the offensive line perspective, like I mentioned earlier, I don't think we did an excellent job from blocking. I think we did a lot of position blocking. We have to be able to move people out the way. And Big John Campbell, who we know from up this way, he's from Central Florida. I actually had a chance to coach against him. He played at Dr. Phillips High School here in Orlando. Big old dude, man. But he did create a lot of penalties tonight from false starts. I think he had 1 holding call. And he had that problem last year. I remember him playing last year, and he had that issue. So I don't know what it is, why he does that. Is it a nervous thing? Is it he can't hear the count? Whatever the case may be, that has to be fixed, because those 5-yard penalties that necessarily didn't hurt us tonight will kill us in bigger games with better talent. That's how I see it. All right. Real quick, man, before we flip this thing around to the defensive side of it, guys, like I say, please call in. Man, look at the comment section jumping right now. It's like a party over here, man. We got everything going on. So, I mean, guys are all in here, and I really appreciate you guys. But you're more than welcome to call in with your questions and or your comments. So before we do that, let's go ahead and grade them out, man. What do you guys say, E? How do you grade out Coach Rhett Lashley and his offense? How do you grade them out tonight?
I'll give him an A+, man. Obviously, I agree with you guys, about the drops and things like that. But like I say, based on my expectations and my prediction, they balled out tonight. You can't complain with 47 points. Can we get better? Absolutely. But I just like the pace. I like the energy. I like the efficiency. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed watching the game as a fan. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we can get better, but I just enjoyed everything about it.
All right. So what'd you say your grade was for them overall?
Oh, A+.
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 I heard that. All right. Hey, you could be my teacher any day, but you know what I'm saying? V12, talk to me.
Yeah, so I give Coach Rhett Lashley, I give him a B+, because I definitely enjoyed the variety of play selection that he installed this week. I definitely enjoyed the tempo we went with. He put some wrinkles in that we hadn't seen before. I like the way how he coaches. He's an in-your-face coach, and he seems like he bonds well with the players. Mm-hmm. What I didn't really like was there were times where I think we felt that we had the game under control and we got kind of comfortable and we pulled back a little bit. And I think with us not being used to scoring a lot of points, we can't let our foot off the gas. We have to keep going until the end of the fourth quarter. But for the most part, I was impressed by his play selection, and he mixed everything up. He called plays for different players. It was not like you said. It wasn't only King. It was Pope. It was Mallory. It was everyone got involved in the offense. And when you have that, that's a good combination for a win.
Nah, and you're 100% right, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I look at it in the same way, right? And I'm gonna get to you, be right quick, but we got a caller coming in right now. Caller, talk to us, man. What's your name? Where you're from? What's your question and or comment?
I'm Todd Labruto. I'm up here in Jacksonville. I'm originally from West Palm, so now I'm up in Gator country, and I hate
me too, Todd.
You know what? I agree with him about pulling off the gas a little bit in the second half, but I think he needed to. I think that's why our defense got gashed. They got no break. You were in there one play, 75 yards, back on the field. Another second play, 75 yards, back on the field. They didn't even get a break. They were exhausted. So I think he did kind of have to pull back a little bit.
You know, a lot of people don't think of it like that, Todd. And you made an excellent point. And it's kind of what I mentioned before in our previous show last week with UAB. I was saying that about nothing wrong with up-tempo offenses, but if you're 3 and out, you got to be conscious of defenses. But on the plus side of this, man,
exactly.
You bring up the half full side of the glass, right? Instead of the half empty is you score so fast, you got to give us a chance to catch our breath too. So Todd, man, thank you.
That's not even a 3 and out. That's a 1 and back on.
Yeah, man, a 1 and done. So hey, Todd, man, I really appreciate you calling with your comment, man. Thank you for supporting us. And man, I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Have a great one.
Now. All right, man. So you brought up a
YouTube channel is, man.
Huh?
You forgot to ask him what the best YouTube channel is, man. You got to be consistent.
I'm trying to, man, but listen, man, your boy been on that cane juice a little bit. I got my papers over here. I got my water bottle.
Yeah, everybody knows the answer already.
It's hot, baby. You understand? So real quick, Balin, let's talk to you. Let's go real quick with your grade. What do you give out?
I give a B minus. I know I'm going to be a little critical here. The only reason why I get B minus is because we didn't finish drives with touchdowns. I was looking at the stats here. Your boy kicked 5 field goals tonight. Or 4, and the longest was 57. The other 3 were inside the red zone. We have to finish drives in the end zone. We have to, and that's efficiency from all across the board, not just coaching, that's players as well. And there was too many penalties on offense tonight as far as holdings and personal fouls. And you know what? I'm actually going to go against V12, what you said and what our caller just said. I actually think we didn't pull off the gas pedal. I think that we responded better in the fourth and third quarter than we did in the previous first and second. I feel like we kept going, and even the commentator made a point. He said, "Man, the reason why we love Rhett's offense is because even when the game is out of reach or somewhat in control, he still presses on. He still goes for the score. And sure enough, right after he said that, we threw the touchdown to Brevin Jordan. So I think, I really think that he kept the tempo high, and both sides were gassed. But I don't think he ever pulled it off, to be honest. I just feel like we were just so emotional throughout what was going on that we kind of slowed the tempo ourselves. But I feel like he still kept going. The one thing that I was impressed with the offense is we were throwing on 3rd and long. It wasn't just a draw to get more yards. No, he was throwing the football on 3rd and long, and we were converting on 3rd down conversions, which I think separated both teams. And again, B minus. I love what we saw today as far as play calling, but we have to learn to finish drives in bigger games, because if we're against Clemson and we kick 4 field goals, we're blown out probably. So we got to finish those drives on touchdowns and to close the game out. And then we're looking at a 70-point win today, and then that's when we give them an A+. So we got things to work on. But overall, I was very happy.
Good, man. Well, here's where I look at it. Coach is sitting there drinking McCain juice, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm saying to myself, he comes out with the unbalanced formation. I don't know if you saw that at the beginning, right? And I'm like, okay, it didn't work. It kind of was a thing, blah, blah, blah. So, and then he goes back to it again, and it kind of it kind of stalled out. And then guess what? He comes back like the second play in the third quarter, comes back with unbalance and hits him with the wheel route off the unbalance. Because guess what? Louisville overcorrects, right? And wrecks out, meaning that they brought that safety all the way over to the trip side, and they don't have anybody behind them, and they fake it and pull the guard and bring Knighton up the sideline. And that's what pushed him to a B+ in my mind, because he stuck with it. You know, it's kind of like a boxing match. Yeah. You don't think that punch is working, and you're just waiting for that opening, and all of a sudden you hit him with him, and guys on the canvas. And so those are the things I was looking at. Like I said, I look at things from a coaching perspective. So I thought he did a great job with setting up those plays. That's what pushed him to a B. The only reason I don't really hold him too accountable for the field goals, because the plays were there, the players have to execute, right? So, for example, the throw that partly dropped in the end zone, the call is there. It's not like, you know, he had to throw it up and fight for it, or he was covered and it was forced. The throw was there. The scheme was there. Dude just dropped the ball. You understand? Now, I did see one where De'Aaron King had a matchup with Mallory out there one-on-one with a little corner. I think it was like 1st and goal or 2nd and goal, when he could have just threw the ball up to him sometime. But I don't know if he has that leeway in his offense yet, where he can do his own thing. I don't know, so I can't say that. So that's those things like that. When I saw some of the little coaching things, is what pushed that performance from him offensively, just from a B to a B+ in my eyes, right? And so that's why I stand with it, man. So I gave him a B+ in that.
We also Mark Pope missed an out route on a 3rd down, led to a field goal too, right in his hands, and dropped it.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm saying. So there's some way in there. Yeah. Do you blame the coach or keep you throw the design of the players there? The scheme is there. He's beat the defense. At some point, the players got to take some accountability and execute that thing too. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's why, yes, I do hold it to him, but I don't in all aspects sometimes. All right, real quick, let's jump on into we 37 minutes in already, baby. We having too much fun. Okay, here we go. Defensively, let's talk about it. All right. I'm going to start this off. I'm going to get out the way because I know I'm going to have a bunch of callers calling in soon, so I could manage and facilitate this as well. Defensively, here's my problem that I had with the defense. And I was texting Balin back and forth throughout this game. We were giving up the edge too much. We gave up the perimeter. We gave up the edge too much. All right. And so when I say all that is, when people give up the edge defensively, right, and we give that edge up, and you're playing man, because they did play a little bit man on corners, but you got to have somebody that can hold the edge and be a force player for you in that, and we weren't doing that. You understand what I'm saying? And so that part bothered me overall from a defensive standpoint, about schematics, if you, for lack of a better term, from the scheme of things. DB wise, I saw tonight clearly why we don't play press, because they don't trust our DBs foot for foot, speed for speed when we have to blitz. They'd rather play back, tackle forward, and live to see another down. You understand what I'm saying? And then blitzing wise, we did a lot of delayed blitz. We did a lot of what they call key blitzing. We weren't on the line blitzing as soon as the ball snapped. It was, okay, let the defensive line go and then come. That's why we weren't getting a lot of get-home blitzes. We were creating a little pressure with it, but we weren't really hitting the quarterback too much because of that. You understand what I'm saying? And then second, and then thirdly, like I said, we're talking about the blitzes, was that we got to make those things stick home. Sometimes we got to jump straight into them. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got to let them know we coming. You better throw this ball or make a decision right now. And that's just my deal with it. So I give them overall from a defense, I just give them a solid B, man. I give them a solid B. All right. Vaughn, V12, talk to us.
From a defensive perspective, I gave him a C. I thought that Zach McLeod did show up, like we said in the pregame. He announced himself. He made a bunch of good plays. I'm sure he had over 5 tackles during the game, and his leadership went a long way. From a secondary standpoint, I felt that we didn't make the adjustment that needed to be made. Bubba Wallace, although he's a long and big safety, I thought that when Tutu Atwell started to get going, we needed to make an adjustment on Tutu Atwell, either bring somebody else to cover Tutu Atwell and move Bubba Wallace somewhere else on the football field. The tackling, I thought as well, there were a couple times where the running back from Louisville was bouncing off tackles. I mean, he runs hard, but there were so many missed tackles. And I know that happens in football, but there were a lot of missed tackles in the hole where he, I remember the play where he went around to the left sweep and he should have been tackled. The defense in collapse and he went right around. There were like 3 or 4 missed tackles on that play. So we have to be able to tackle better. So from that standpoint, I gave them a C.
Okay. And I'm going to say this too. I had a quick comment. I'm going to get to you guys. So Lakers all day. What's up, man? How you doing? He says, Coach Hayes, is that on the defense coach or the players? I'm going to just simply say if something happens repeatedly over and over and over, it's on the coaches, right? And so, and I guess you're talking about, is that on, you were talking about maybe those force players and edge rushing. If you see something happen repeatedly, then that's a scheme deal. If it happens once in a while, then that may be on the players, blown assignment, whatever the case may be. So that's why I'm just taking that Lakers all day. That's all I'm saying. Real quick, callers, when you call in, be patient with us a little bit. We're going to definitely get you on. All right, got some people calling in. Don't hang up on us. We will catch you soon. We get a break in the action. We'll definitely put you on there, man. All right, and E, talk to us from a defensive standpoint.
I'm gonna go ahead and give him a C-. I'll give him credit for the turnovers and the energy, but we were very undisciplined. Obviously, the secondary wasn't doing that great. At the end of the day, we gave up over 500 yards. So I mean, you can't really grade out too high for that. So I just give him credit for the turnovers and the fact that we got a win. I think the pace might have had something to do with it, to you guys' point earlier, because obviously the team has more possessions. Hawkins showed out. Their running back for Louisville, he showed out. So we didn't do a very good job containing rushing. So I just C- just because I'm a fan of the Canes, but yeah, it didn't look that great.
Balin, talk to us, man.
D+.
God, dog.
I'm going to tell you why. D+ is still passing. A lot of people say D's get degrees, and they are correct at some level. So when you get a degree, that's a great thing. But at the end of the day, in your heart you got a D. Okay. So here's why. The only highlight from our defense tonight was our 3 turnovers. It was special to see. It was finally like, okay, but if you really look at the turnovers, they weren't anything spectacular. One, the interception, the guy, he should have thrown it out of bounds, and he tried to force a play when they're about to score, and we got a pick. Do it right to him on the sideline. Then the fumble, obviously trying to make something happen at the end of the game. He fumbles, and then the same thing after, like right before halftime. So they weren't really anything that we did defensively that was like, oh wow, that's why we got a takeaway. Al Blades, he dropped the interception later on in the game in the third quarter. He just threw it up on a corner route, missed communication with the receiver. He just completely missed it. They didn't really talk about that much, but that's a play that we should be making. Defensively, our DBs are terrible. I'm sorry. They are absolutely atrocious. And like you said, Coach Hayes, there's a reason why with that much talent and speed, we're not playing press. That's because these coaches don't believe in the talent yet. We don't know what it is at the DB position, but we're young there, which is exciting. But at the same time, right now is time for us to figure out what we need to do at that position. I thought the best unit on defense tonight was the safety position. I think Bolden came down and made some critical tackles, especially on third down. He played really well. I'm talking about flat. When he's coming down to the flat, making some great tackles, I thought he did well. His cover skills is terrible. But again, what I'm looking at is his the overall performance. I feel like they did the best. D-line didn't show up tonight. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. They looked terrible. They're getting thrown everywhere. Like Coach A says, you saw white bodies just flying backwards. The one thing that we need to adjust to, and we did not adjust to at this game, and I think Louisville did a great job in the second half, is attacking the boundary. They run to the boundary, and that's what UAB has success with and scored. And then all of a sudden, the first opening drive, guess what Louisville did the entire drive with Hawkins? Ran to the boundary, and he was gashing us down the sideline. We have no adjustment there. When we have one-on-one on the outside with the corner and he's taken off, there's no one there. Running back hits a crease, it's a wrap. So we got to do a better job defensively and making adjustments. Our defensive line has to play to their potential because they're talking about all those guys are going to the NFL draft. Well, okay, but if they watch the last 2 game films, none of those guys are getting picked up, and they're barely a free agent. So they might all declare coming back to try to make up for what's going on right now. I think Phillips had a good game. I think he's shown why he's legit. Our linebacking core, again, I wasn't really impressed. Yeah, McLeod looked pretty decent. But we're talking about an elite guy who started as a true freshman. He's got to step up and be the leader of that football team. And I don't see that really much consistently. And look, we gave up 34 points. I mean, we're all hyped because of the win against Louisville, but at the end of the day, we gave up 34 points. That's a lot of points given up. And there was a lot of misfires Louisville had that could have been a lot closer. We just kept them in the game for whatever reason defensively. We should have shut it out early. But yeah, D+ and at best. And if we play like this defensively, now offensively, we're going to be put in some games because of our offense. But if we play like this against Clemson, guys,
we'll be in trouble.
Different conversation right now.
I agree. Let me say this when I made a face about Bolden. So with Bolden, what I saw with him was they were actually playing him in man defense from distance, right? So he was what they call a reduction safety. So he's playing high, but he's reducing down. And so when he's coming down in that flat, this is what bothers me about it. It wasn't a zone deal. This was a man deal. And I don't think he has the foot speed to deal with these guys, because what's going to happen, a better team is going to expose that. So there has to be a different kind of switch off, because one time I think it was Tutu Atwell and one of the other receivers, they were close and they actually did a switch route.
Yeah.
And they ended up, and what happened is when he came out, he was late. He ended up making a great tackle, but a better team, that's touchdown, because now you don't see it. We got a caller calling in right now. So I'm going to bring him in right now. Caller, talk to us. What's your name? Where you're from? What's your question and your comment?
What's going on? This is J-Dub from Orlando. What's going on, Coach Hayes?
What's up, man? J-Dub, man.
What's going on?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Listen, thank God y'all spoke to Balin before I called in, because he just cut my call by about 5 minutes. So a lot. What I have to say is going to echo what he said. But Coach, you know what a smoke screen is?
I do.
Like, people deploy smoke screens because it deflects and it hides from a real issue. That's what those 3 turnovers on defense are. They're a smoke screen, because outside of that, our defense was horrendous tonight. Yep. Those delayed blitzes were terrible, because some of those blitzes we weren't even close to getting home.
Right.
Our defense. When's the last time you heard somebody give a defense that gave up 520 yards, 34 points, anything higher than an F or a D? Like, this defense does not deserve any grade higher than a D. It was horrendous tonight. Bolden, I love his tackling. Dude made some superb. I mean, tackling is an A. Everything else is an F. Like, it's the secondary is absolutely horrendous, and I'm very concerned. We have a matchup with Clemson, not to overlook Florida State. Florida State, sometimes it doesn't matter how sorry they are, and they are sorry this year. It's always a close game because it's a rivalry game. But man, we got Clemson in 3 weeks. We got to clean this up, man. Because if we give up 520 yards to Louisville, how much is Trevor Lawrence gonna hang on us? And that's it. I'm out.
Hey man, I appreciate
6.1 yard average. We gave up to that running back. Every time that running back touched the ball, he was getting 6 yards. We have to shut that down.
And you know what? I totally agree with you, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about when I started talking defensively about the perimeter outside zone stretch plays was that we have to make sure that we protect that. We have to make sure that we can't give up those yards. And you know what? And I think sometimes we looked at, 500 yards is a gang of yards, right? But usually if you look at football, every 100 yards equals 7 points, right? Or every 100 yards equal a touchdown. So at 500 yards, you're looking at 5 touchdowns. You see how that works? Does that make sense what I'm saying? So 35 points. That's usually how it works in that sense. So sometimes you have to bend but don't break. I'm not trying to give them a way out. They got the win. That's why I said a C. I wanted to say C-, but I didn't want to be too harsh. But I know my man Baylor wasn't gonna play with him, so I know I was trying to break the bell curve a little bit and help him out a little bit, man. But on a serious note, and you guys are right, man. Like, that's a gang of yards. We got to tighten this thing up. But I do say that when it came to it, we did bend, but we necessarily didn't break. My man Hawkins was getting in right now. I like that dude. I'm gonna tell you something else I didn't like, and I'm gonna get to you right now. V12 was on 4th downs. They convert how many? They had to convert all, maybe they were 3 for 4. That's not good. And I'm we ain't talking about 4th and inches. Some of these were 4th and 2s or whatever the case may be. V12, talk to us, man.
Well, we have to take a look at this. You said it best, Coach. I don't care how much yards you rack up in between those goal lines. If you're not getting in, it really doesn't matter to me. And that's the game of football. That's why we play the game to score touchdowns and sometimes to get field goals. So yes, you want to see what I prefer them to not have 500 yards total offense, of course, but we had a close to 500 yard total offense as well. And the average in college football is about a few hundred yards per team when they play. So I mean, we can't really say, well, because they gave a 500 yard, they deserve a D or an F. They made some good plays, and for the most part, we kept them out of the end zone. What more can you ask for? Should they play better? They need to play better. I agree with we need to be able to play better. We need to be able to eliminate the penalties that we had. A lot of the time, Louisville advanced was because we had them stopped. We were about to get off the field on third down or whatever, and then we have a sorry penalty on the sideline that gave them life. So, correct. Is the defense the best right now? No. Are there a F? I would say not. A D. Like I said, I give them a C. They made a lot of good plays, and we just have to get better. We have to improve every week.
I totally agree. And you know, like I said, you play that. I always use this analogy, man. Jordan scored 63 and still lost. So, you know, it happens. You know what I mean? It happens. Are we happy about it? Of course not. But we're going to take the dub. And it's not like we won by a point. You understand? And somebody left in the comment section, you guys rolling through the comments so good. They pushing through so fast, I got to try and find it. But they said that the game was not as close as the score appeared it to be.
I agree with that.
And that's true.
Field goals is not. We didn't finish drives. That's why.
And that's true. We got to call it. Hold on. Hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you calling from? Talk to us.
Eddie Sewell from Birmingham, Alabama.
Eddie, what's up, man?
What's going on, my brother? Like I say, congratulations. Y'all can go ahead and say y'all ain't did you, but y'all are.
All right, I'm loving it. What's up with you, man?
But nothing much, man. Like I say, believe not. Personally, I did love the offense. I mean, it was pretty good. But like I say, y'all been talking about the defense. Yeah, need a little work.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
But it's okay. But it need a little work. But hey, like I say, believe not. Maybe I can borrow some people from Florida Gators. You know, you never know. Y'all might can borrow some from us and be all right.
Man, hey, trust me. I already told you last week, Eddie. I got a real sharp knife, and I'm finna put these on my feet. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. You understand?
Oh, alligators down.
That's right.
But like I say, I just want to say congratulations. Like I say, believe not. And I love your show. Like I say, you know this the show to be. You know that already. I'm going ahead. You ain't got to even ask me. Coach Hayes is the man.
Already, Eddie. Hey, man, I appreciate you, man. As always, I appreciate your support. And thanks a lot, man.
I have to say this. Like I say, believe not, y'all need to wait until next week so you can see a good show. Because we're coming.
Oh,
Go Gators.
Oh, Lord. I'm going fishing right now. Sir. Listen, I'm going fishing tonight at 12:30, Eddie. Catch me a gator.
I hear you.
All right, baby. Take it easy. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, now. You too. Bye. All right, bye.
Hey, man, Eddie, that's my man. Appreciate it. Hey, so listen, like I said, we see things, and sometimes we can't have it all, right? We still in that. I hate to sound like a dude that's making excuses or giving passes for certain things, but sometimes you got to take that, build on it. You know, I do think we were flying around. I'll say the positive of that. We were flying around. We were always in position. I don't think we were never out of position. I don't think I saw too many blown coverages. Yeah, the coverage could have been tighter, but I don't think it was just straight blown coverage like how we were against them when Jordan was down the middle of the field. And again, that's another wrinkle that Rhett put in with the unbalanced, that now you use the unbalanced dude. Now you got because you just hit him on that wheel route with Knighton up the sideline. Now Louisville overcorrected to the unbalanced side and now left Jordan open on this side. That's why it moved him from a B to a B plus, in my opinion. Balin, real quick, man. Let's just talk about quick our special team. They killing us by special teams. What you give out the special teams real quick, man? Bunch them together, man. The whole kicking game.
A+. We had 3 punts only 3 punts the entire game. We had 4 made field goals. One was 57 yards. I can't complain. You couldn't ask, especially if you compare it to the last decade. Or I'm talking about special teams wise. If you compare our kicking game, everything from kickoffs to the back of the end zone to our punts to our field goals, we have completely changed. And I think we are finally in a conversation where I guarantee you by the end of this year, we will be in the top 10 in the country in special teams. Hetley's already averaging 47.5 yards a punt. That's insane, okay? We have a guy who hasn't missed a field goal all season yet. He's made every single extra point, every single field goal. I think he's going to be on some type of list, right? So special teams-wise, and he's only had 2 returns out of the end zone, and we scored, dang near over 70 points in 2 games. So that's a lot of kickoffs. So, I mean, I'm telling you right now, our special teams-wise is the only good thing right now that's consistently put in an A effort. Whoever the special teams coordinator is probably going to get a raise at the end of this year only because he's getting the right people. And unfortunately, they're transfers. But at the end of the day, our special teams looks really good right now. Before we move on, I really want to go back to the defense and say how awesome, everything is terrible except for our third down efficiency. I think the last 2 games, this game and last game, we have completely shut teams down on third down. Today they went 4 for 14 on third down. That's crazy. If we continue to do that, that's a lot of punting. They went for 4 fourth down conversions of those 10 missed opportunities. But I think overall, man, we look good on third down, but that's about it.
Got you. V12.
Man, listen, the kicker, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, but he reminded me of a guy that you and Essex know very well. He reminded me of a brother named Juan Toro from American High. He put their head down, and he kind of built like him, kind of stocky. He put their head down, and he hit that ball. I mean, he wasn't even. He was straight, pretty much down the middle on all the field goals. I'm so impressed with him. I'm so impressed with our special teams. I mean, even Manny Diaz's face on the 58-yarder, 57-yarder was like, you know what? He has this. I'm not even worried about it. So I give them an A. I give them an A plus. Go ahead, baby.
The kicker's face. They actually zoomed up and they actually said it. They said, watch his face when he kicked the ball. He was so confident he kicked it. He literally to the side and went just like this.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on.
And like
57 yards.
And like everyone has been saying, we haven't had a kicking game this good for a long time, at least 3 or 4 years. And for him to come in and make all his field goals, and he actually does dual duties. He's actually the kickoff guy as well. And he was kicking the ball into the end zone of the punter. I mean, he's a stud. He was pretty good last year, and so he's definitely pinning them deep. I was mad that they didn't give him the kicker call on that play that would extend our drive. But guess what? We Miami, we never get those type of plays. Then going, moving forward, we don't get those type of penalties because we Miami. They don't like us, quote unquote. But for the most part, like you said, I give them an A. I would like to see, a little bit more kick returning, with Pope and punt returns with Pope, and also a little ding I might add was that onside kick during the end of the game. We have to do better. If that was a closer game, we probably would have been in trouble. Yeah. But again, I would give them an A for the special teams, particularly because of the kicking game is fantastic right now. Hopefully it stays that way, and I think we'll be all right in that department.
Hey guys, I want to ask a quick question to everybody in here. I'm thinking about this, guys. We can talk about Mark Pope. He's our punt return guy right now. There's something about Knighton that I love. I have a weird feeling that by the end of this year, they're going to throw Knighton in a situation where he's going to return kicks because he's got that electric ability where he got a gear. So again, I don't know what it is about Pope. People like him. I just don't know if he's got the it. He's always like, I don't know. It's just hesitant. But when I see Knighton run, he's electric. He's like a great keeper. Yeah, I remember him.
He's a young bull. He won it. You understand? E, real quick, man, we're going to jump on Florida State. E, talk to us.
Boregares. Hey, listen. Obviously, we don't want to, settle for field goals a lot, but it's a real good feeling to know that you got somebody that's pretty much automatic. We all know those days, coming down to the wire with Florida State, a field goal here, a field goal there. It feels real good to have a pretty much 90% kicker back there who can do it from 60 yards, man. So you never have to worry about leaving the field without getting some kind of points, man. That's a great weapon to have, man. So obviously, just like you guys said, I don't have to belabor the point. I give special teams an A+.
Also, and you just pretty much said it, I'm not going to stay long on it, but in order to have a kicker that can nail those, and you don't ever want to put him in a position where he's constantly kicking 57, 58-yard field goals, but just to know that if you get the ball to the opponent's 30, 35, you're in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? If you can get it at least to the 30, what you're talking here, that's let me see, 47-yard field goal, and that's well within his range. So, I mean, you're basically playing on a 70-yard field for a minimum of 3 points per drive. That's how you kind of look at it. Of course, you want to definitely get those 6 points, with the extra point being 7, but knowing that you can walk off pretty much every drive, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, in the second half, they scored every drive except for one, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's huge. And that was the difference in those yardage points, right? See, Louisville doesn't have that kicker, even though they put 500 yards up on the wood, which equals 35 points. And that's right. So for every 100 yards is 7 points, 35 points. But for us, we cheat the system because we have that guy that can kick out those extra yards for us where we don't have to extend it a full 100 yards. So with all that being said, man, I give him an A+ as well from our kicking game. I didn't one time cringe and like, Kenny, what you doing, Manny? Go for it. Kick it. Let's go. I got you. Now, let's talk about Florida State just a little bit before we get out of here because we already passed the hour mark. So let's talk about Florida State here for a second. Florida State is coming up. We already reported earlier, and it has been reported that Coach Mike Norville has contracted COVID-19. He has been quarantined for himself, and he's going to try and coach remotely with the program. However, that's going to be done. That to be said, I guess Zoom in on meetings or whatever, but on the field, I don't know. They're going to pull a big TV out there. Trust me, I've seen it all happen. They got the money to do it. They put a big screen out there, and he can coach from there too. So, what are we thinking Florida State-wise? We know they haven't been very good. Coming up here, they lost to Lord have mercy.
Georgia Tech.
Cane Juice, get out of here. Georgia Tech last week. Georgia Tech just got their face kicked in by UCF, the Golden Knights. So how do we flip that? And I'll be the first one to tell you in football, don't ever look at a previous game to tell you what the next game is going to tell you. But got to look at some history here. So what does that tell you about Florida State? Are they going to be back? Is it going to be a great game? Is it just because it's a rivalry? It's going to be an outstanding game. Sometimes people just meet up. It's just a rivalry. So real quick, talk to us, Vitor. This is what I wanted to do. Give me break down your synopsis, and I'm going to write down your prediction. I got my trusty card here. I'm going to write down your prediction and see if you up for the task, my man.
Right. So Florida State has talent. We all know that. We all know they're talented bunch of kids, and their coaching staff is new. And we know definitely there's a rivalry there. We know that these are our kids, our young men from Carroll City, from Pompano Beach, from Jacksonville, from Tampa, from Dade County. And so that makes it a rivalry game. With that being said, we've won the past 4, and I don't want Miami to play down to Florida State's level, as we said in previous shows that sometimes we tend to do. I think if Miami comes out the way that they did today, play football, make the proper adjustments on defense, make sure that they put in a variety of plays, I think we'll beat them. I think we'll beat them very, very well. I think we'll probably beat them by 14, or I said we'll probably be by 14 points. So I have Miami 35, and I have Florida State 21.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So you saying it's a 14-point spread? Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it'll be a score of 35-21.
All right. E, talk to us.
Hey, man, this is my
you in that area too, ain't you? Ain't you
Yeah,
up
I'm
down
up here in Seminole territory right now, up in North Florida. So, and just the conversation comes up when you be around people. Not a lot of people are expecting much from Florida State, which can be dangerous because then they'll have the whole, nobody believes in this type of angle. But whatever. I love this game because bragging rights. Y'all know my wife from Florida State, and she got a lot of friends that went to Florida State. So it's gonna be bragging rights in my house. I love talking trash on Facebook when this game comes up. So I'm gonna keep talking trash. I think we're gonna beat them down. I think the score is gonna be, let me see. I'll go 37-17. How about that? I think we're gonna whoop them this year.
As my Jamaican brethren, I say, Lord of mercy. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, have mercy. All right, B, talk to us, man. This dude like Martha Stewart, he got inside information. So we gotta watch this guy, man.
So look, let's not be delusional on the fact that this is a rivalry game. So at the end of the day, when these two teams play, no matter what the records are, this game is going to be a pretty much slugfest in pregame warmups because when the game starts, it is a wrap. Okay, guys, let's not get it twisted. What does this number mean to all of you guys in this chat, even the ones listening? 1,460. Does that ring a bell?
1,460. The amount of days?
That's the amount of days that the last time Florida State seen a win against Miami. That's a lot.
That's right.
Okay, there's some kids out there that have never seen a win come from Florida State. We're talking about 4-year-olds out there just roaming, have never witnessed or heard a win for Florida State and Miami. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And that's, again, the last 3 years, we've been a pretty terrible football team. So that means even when we're bad, we're winning. So this year is going to be ugly. I have been there the last 3 years with my wife. That's like a tradition we've done since we've been married. We are undefeated. I'm 3-0. I'll never forget the last time we were in Miami. We were down 27-7. My wife was literally a drive away from saying, let's get out of here. And I was like, let's just stick it out. And sure enough, we went on that crazy run and we won. So that was the closest thing that Florida State's going to get to making this game close. Last year, we went to Tallahassee, had a great time, blew them out. It was hilarious. This year, this is my prediction, guys. And this is not no games. This is not trying to be funny. This is serious. Okay, the score will be 49-10. There will be a spread of 39 points. I don't think with a head coach not being on the sideline, who's mastered that offense that they're trying to implement, without him being there, I just don't see them doing much. They already discombobulated. Let's be honest, Georgia Tech, who is subpar, ran all over Florida State. They could have scored on all their possessions if they didn't throw 2 picks in the red zones. It could have been an ugly blowout win for Georgia Tech, and that's a team that got dismantled by our little young brothers, UCF, today. So at the end of the day, Florida State is now in the conversation with FIU and FAU as being probably the teams of Miami. That is just Florida. We're just keeping it real now. And I think Miami comes away with a blowout victory, probably the worst loss between the two schools in a game. And I will be there to witness it next weekend. So me and my wife are traveling to South Beach in prime time. And we're going to be at the game to see it in person. Another whipping, 4-0 this year, and keep that train rolling, baby.
Now, I'm loving all that now, but I got one question for you, Baylor. This is the same team you saying that you gave an F2 on defense?
And remember, we're playing a F+ on offense in Florida State. So I like our chances.
Well, Blackman, I don't think Blackman is that bad.
Guys, listen to me. Blackman is not the issue.
It's not. It's not the issue. It's bigger than that at Florida State, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things going on. We actually got a show I'm putting together now talking about Florida State, the past, present, and future. I'm getting some former players on there. I'm working on getting these guys together, and so we definitely want to talk about that.
Let's not get it twisted. If you looked at our rosters, if you compared our rosters, I guarantee you, and I hate to say it, I think Florida State has more talent, straight up and down. But as far as the whole team and scheme-wise and just the camaraderie of everything that's going on outside of football that they can't control, there's a lot going on with Florida State right now, and I think it's going to be an embarrassing win for Miami.
I'm with you. So I'm going to look at it like this tonight. I'm saying – Coach is saying right now, right, because you guys talked about it in the whole 9 yards. We already know they're pretty much a dumpster fire over there right now. And they got to put it together. And with Coach. Yeah, and with Coach being sick, that's what I'm saying. With Coach being sick now, it's going to be even worse. The flames are going to burn a little higher. So I don't even know who they have. Do they have a coach in like waiting like a? All right, well, what's going on? I need to call somebody. Hey,
Thunder lightning out here.
Is that what that was?
Something.
That's serious. All right, so here we go. So here's what I'm looking at. Here's what I'm looking about, man. I'm saying to myself, 38, and that doggone Florida State, man. All right, I'm going 38, 22, 16 points.
Okay.
All right, I'm going 38, 22, 16 points. Coach Hayes finna pay himself today, if you understand. I don't even know if you can cash app yourself, but I'm gonna try because I'm winning this thing right here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm winning myself.
I have one question.
I need to write it off on my taxes. Yeah.
Coach Hayes, I have one question for you. How in the world are they getting 22 points?
A mistake. All right.
So,
again,
how can they get to number 22 though? Is there a safety involved? Is there a 2-point conversion? I mean, that's a interesting number.
I was thinking that they would get something in garbage time, but I think they're gonna get beat down. I think they'll get some points in garbage time, but they're gonna get beat.
I have them winning by 39. Okay, 39.
I got it written down. So V12, you got them winning. You have 35-21 with a 14 points difference. E, you got 37-17 with a 20-point. Balin got 49-10 with a 39. And I have 38-22 with a 16. I picked the same way Vegas say how you get 13.5 points. Coach said 22. There's going to be some ugly field goals in there. It's going to be, you know what I mean? Some miss, maybe a score with an extra point.
Safety on us?
No, not a safety, but it's going to be an odd number where you're going to kick a field goal here, there. You know, it's not going to be.
Let me say this.
Points.
Let me say this. The running backs, they have a decent running back in Florida State. I mean, he runs very well. I put him on par with the running back at Louisville tonight. So I think he is able to get some yards, maybe not 200 yards. I think he's able to get maybe 100, 125. I think he can make it interesting. And Blackman is a decent quarterback. I think they could get some points on Miami's defense. I mean, Louisville did it. UAB did it. So why? I mean, Florida State can't be that bad. So I think they're going to have some points. If you kind of factor in maybe some garbage time, they get 14 to 17 points. So I 39 points. We'll see. But I think Miami wins. I give them 14-point victory. We score at least 30. We keep it going. We average at least 35 points in this game and keep the average going to at least 30, 35 points a game, and we go from there.
You know what? I'm like Baylor. Baylor made a point. I just changed it to 21. I'm gonna tell you why I did that. Because I got 16. E got Vaughn. You got Victoria. You got 14. I didn't want it to fall at 15, and we got to come up with a tiebreaker. So I'm like, price is right. I got you by $1. You understand what I'm saying? So with all that being said, man, listen, this has been awesome.
So what's your score now? Say it again.
38-21.
Balin is what? 40? What? 49?
49-10.
49-10.
Right.
He got 39 points.
Guys,
he beat him by 39.
You're gonna laugh when I give you predictions. I'm telling you, you're gonna laugh, and you're gonna love it. So that means we have a lot of trash talking to do.
Give me 40. Okay. Give me 40. Give me 42.
42?
42. Yeah, 42-35.
You just
no 42-28. 42-28.
42-28.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah. All right, hey, that's his bet, man. Well, all right. So, with all that being said, listen, man, it's been fun. We got a great thing. Like I say, guys, you got your last few minutes here to call in before we get out. You're more than welcome to call us down here at 321-328-8235. Like I said, with your questions, comments, anything you want to talk about Florida State in the game coming up, or you want to mention something about the game tonight. I know it is already 12:45 in the morning. It is what it is. Some people at work, some people don't have to work, and some people going to work. So we good to go. Real quick, Sonny Barnes says, I'm worried about number 5 in coverage. I am too. He is a pretty big safety, but they bring him down in the box a lot. I noticed that. I think we were talking about this earlier, just kind of as a roundup before we get out of here. I think from a beast perspective, that is the weakest part of our defense. I think we definitely need to have some guys in coverage. We've never from as far back as I can remember, I've never seen the University of Miami had guys just run away from us, run by us. You know, you might catch a ball here and there. It happens, but we definitely have to get into that. And I think from the recruiting trail that I've seen Manny Diaz, because as I do those videos, you guys know, and so the watch viewers know, they are recruiting those type of guys back. You understand? I'm not saying that these guys are Ed Reed, but they're recruiting those style of players back to the University of Miami. You understand what I'm saying? The Sean Taylor style of guys. You understand? So with all that being said, any wrap up, anything you want to do before we get out of here?
Sad day for De'Aaron King. His 16-game streak snapped today. So no rushing touchdowns. And that was one thing that I noticed on the goal line is he didn't keep the ball when he could have done it twice on 2 zone reads. He's not selfish. What a great player he is. Phenomenal. And then last thing, Harris, when he scored his touchdowns and he denied the rings, the touchdown rings, and said, give it to the lineman. The lineman said no, that he deserves it. And then he still said no. That speaks something about his character and where they are mentally as a football team. And I think this year is going to be a special year.
Nah, that's real, man. I mean, you could tell those guys are gelling together. The poor little ring guy, he didn't know what to do, so he just put
he was funny. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna be embarrassed because they don't do nothing." What's
right? The cameraman's on it. Somebody got to put these things on. But go ahead, E, real quick, man. If there's anything you want to kind of round out and talk about, and then we're gonna go ahead and get out of here.
Again, just enjoyed watching it. Enjoyed the changes and adjustments that they made. Florida State is always fun. Getting back to that rivalry, hopefully, hope the coach works out with Florida State. We don't want anybody losing their life or getting super ill with that. But that being said, we got to tap that butt, and I'll be waiting with the popcorn, man. So yeah, good to be back on the show. Sorry I couldn't be here earlier, but yeah, man, looking forward to it.
FSU's on that clock
all day. V12.
I'm looking forward to the game. It's always a good game, for the most part. It'll be a hype game. I just want Miami to come out, not start slow. But I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to starting 3-0 for the first time in a long time. And I know Kane. I'm just looking forward to a good game and a victory. We can't take Florida State for granted, though. Some people may say we may be due, so we gotta take it. Gotta make sure we take it slow. But start fast, play our game, win the game and keep it moving.
Yeah, definitely, man. And I'm all there with you guys. We definitely need to make sure we hit the gas, come out. I was really impressed with Coach Rhett Lashley. And like I said, that unbalanced look was a big deal for me because it didn't work out well. A lot of guys abandon that kind of stuff when it doesn't work right away or doesn't even have a resemblance of positivity to it. And he stuck with it. And before you know it, boom, you got caught with the right hook and took it straight down the field. So that's huge right there. And so I'm excited to see what other wrinkles that he's going to add to this thing as it goes. But I do know defensively we got to tighten up. We have to be able to, because we're going to get exposed by better teams, right? And Louisville is not a bad team, even on paper, and even tonight as they proved with 500 yards. The quarterback is good. I think he's very good. He's not great, but he's very good. The running back was surprisingly good in Hawkins. I think he did an excellent job running the ball. He ran the ball hard, man, and he's elusive. Like they call him the joystick or something like that. So he did a great job there. We know Tutu Atwell. He's from Miami Northwestern Senior High School. Played quarterback, won state championships. He's elusive, a little smaller, but hey, that's all right. If you're a baller, you're a baller. And so they just didn't have enough pieces. They kind of stalled out. They moved the ball up and down the field, but they stalled out when they really needed to. And then they didn't have the kicking game that they should, or that they had, that we have, where we can pop off 56, 57-yard field goals. So with all that being said, man, we're going to go ahead and wrap this deal up right quick. For all of my listeners out there, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything. As you know, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you are aware of all the latest content that comes out on this channel. If you'd like to follow me, you're more than welcome to do so on Facebook and Instagram. That is Coach Hayes Football. And on Twitter, that is Coach Hayes FB. Make sure you follow me. I drop different things every day. I'm not going to get into it. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I got some more sugar cane juice waiting on me. All right. As well as, E, talk to us, man. Where can people find you?
Instagram, Actorman Essex right there, and then Essex O'Brien on Facebook and Twitter.
All day. And V12, talk to us.
BWilliePromos@gmail.com.
All day. And then here we go. Mr. Balin Trujillo, quarterback extraordinaire.
No, just Instagram, Balin Trujillo. Same thing with Twitter. And then I have 2 Instagram pages, one for myself and then my quarterback training page, which is Be True QB Training. So you can find it on those 2 links. If you just type in Balin, it's a pretty unique name, so it should pop up first thing. Even though Drew Brees' son is named Balin, which is pretty cool. I still think he named it after me being a quarterback guy. But yeah, so again, you can find me on those pages.
All day, man. So that's great. Appreciate it. Matt Crab, man, longtime supporter, good show, coach. I appreciate you staying up this late watching with us, man. And so with all that being said, we're about to get out of here. As you know, we do the WRE live. I mean, the WRE where we watch, react, and evaluate. We're actually going to start on the class of 2022 now. The class of 2021 is phasing out. Most of these classes are full. They usually have 1 or 2 spots left. So we'll do those as they come on in, and they usually save those last 2 or 3 spots for a very elite athlete, and that's what we're going to wait on. But we're going to jump on starting Monday, the class of 2022. So commitments are happening earlier now. These guys are committing the beginning of their junior year, right? So that's what it is. That's what football is going at warp speed, and that's what it's all about. So with all that being said, can I get a CANES? Go Canes. And we out of here, guys.
2-0.
RenderForce.com